How may the corporation serve you?
Hello, I am with Anton Strenger, and he worked on Sid Meier's Civilization Beyond Earth. And this is our foray. If you played Civ games before, and you probably have, it's always been between different nations. And now it's kind of like that, but with some other interesting twists. How is the strategy element different in this game versus previous titles in the series?
Right. So the strategy is different right from the outset. So in like a historical Civ game, you're picking, a figure from history, like you said. So you're picking Caesar from Rome or Gandhi from India, and that comes with a certain set of bonuses that makes sense with history. So Rome, you have the Roman Legion and stuff like that. With Beyond Earth, you're going beyond Earth. You're going to an alien planet for the first time. You're the first humans to set foot there, and so you're starting in the future. You're starting from science fiction, and you have a lot of really interesting characters to choose from to lead that expedition to the new planet. And you also get to pick what goes on your spacecraft on the way there. So you get to pick cargo, you get to pick what colonists are going to form the ancestors of your new civilization on this planet. You get to pick what kind of spaceship you're going to bring with you, which kind of like can scan the planet for different things and reveal different parts of the map to you. So you kind of are picking what bonuses you want even before the game begins, and you're kind of crafting your own identity that way.
And everything relies on 3 different affinities, which are, I believe, harmony, is it domination?
Supremacy? Supremacy, yeah.
That's the one I want.
Yeah, that's my favorite too. And the third one is purity. So yeah, the affinities, those 3 affinities are very core to what Beyond Earth is all about. They're reflected in the technology web. And as you land on the planet for the first time, and you're just trying to survive. You're trying to figure out what's going on this alien planet, what this alien life forms are, how to use the resources here. But eventually you become master of the planet, and you're kind of picking the direction that humanity is going to evolve in. So for Harmony, you see the planet as a really interesting thing to learn from. You're learning from the alien life forms. You're learning their genes. You're splicing them into your own bodies, forming your own military units, genetically engineering crazy, strong alien units to form the backbone of your army. And your cities and the leaders that you interact with will change to reflect this aesthetic. The purity affinity is about looking back to old Earth and seeing that we had to leave old Earth, but it wasn't something we wanted to do. We lost something precious there, and we want to keep the history alive. We want to look back, and we want to eventually their victory condition is to bring people from old Earth back to this new planet. Look, we made Earth again, and here it's more perfect, and we've made it ready for you. And it's the promised land victory. And Supremacy, which is the coolest one, is about taking technology to its extreme and cybernetics, augmentation, artificial intelligence, and the sort of units that you get by researching in that direction are robotic armies, really cool stuff, really advanced technology, supercomputing, and so those are the 3 affinities, and they drive a lot of the decisions in the game.
I saw the trees in there, and it reminded me a little bit of choosing to research different parts for your own civilization. For instance, you could choose pottery or maybe irrigation, but this is far beyond that. And I was walking into this thinking, oh, it's going to be mainly cosmetic changes. They're going to say this word instead of that word, but it was beyond that even.
Yeah, the tech web was one of the first design decisions we made, and it's a huge departure from anything that Civ has done before. And like you said, you kind of start in the middle, and instead of just picking, okay, well, I'll go left and get pottery, I'll go right and get irrigation, you're in the middle of this vast expanse of science fiction awesomeness. And you have to decide, I could go towards xenobiology and start genetically engineering my own alien life forms. I could go down towards computing and start developing artificial intelligence to help run my cities better. There's a lot of different directions you can go, and you don't have to, they're not mutually exclusive. You can kind of pick and choose which direction you want to go, and you can backtrack. There's a lot more flexibility than with a traditional tech web, but you're not going to be able to research everything in a game. You might get 60 to 70% of the technologies in the web, but you're not going to be able to experience everything, and so that's what we're hoping will give a lot of replayability to the game. So you might try a Harmony game, but get all the Harmony technologies and check out all the really cool alien units. But then next time, okay, yeah, maybe I'll try Supremacy now, or maybe I'll try Harmony again, but I'll kind of research this different set of technologies to be more of a defensive economic focus or something like that.
Get that Phyrexite.
Yeah.
So, in previous iterations, we could be defeated by, not necessarily defeated by other civilizations, but what in terms of the environment has changed? What odds are we against there?
The environment is very much, especially in the early game, about coming across alien life forms and all these kind of environmental hazards that you don't know how to deal with because you had nothing like it on Earth. So there's toxic miasma that as you're exploring around, it's this kind of poisonous gas that before you understand the science behind it will harm your units and will kind of be a barrier to your exploration. And you'll come across alien life forms that actually thrive in this toxic miasma. It heals them in between their turns. It's very dangerous. And the alien life forms will kind of like leave you alone for the most part, but if you start attacking them, because, for example, they might be in a really nice place for you to put down a city, they're guarding a lot of really nice resources. They might become angry at you and start retaliating. So the alien life forms, the miasma, is really a big part of like how the map is different and how it's different from a historical Civ game. And even it goes down even to the map generation, like the algorithms that we use to make the planet different every time you play incorporates the idea of what are called wild zones. So wild zones are where you have like lots of resources, but also lots of aliens and hostile life forms. So if you can conquer and tame a wild zone for yourself, it might be really advantageous to you, but it's hard to do, especially early in the game.
All right. I thought they would be more analogous to maybe the barbarians or the villages we'd find in the past, but it seems like that's a little more difficult than that, perhaps.
I would say, yeah. Like the initial ideas for the aliens about like, oh yeah, well, like barbarians in historical civilization games play a very important role. It's really fun to attack them right away and stuff like that. But they really kind of evolved into their own beast as we kind of went through development and just like tried different things. Like, oh, what if we tried this? Or, oh, this would be fun. And they became their own really faction. They're almost like another player in the game. They have an opinion of you. They're not hostile towards you right away, but they can be very hostile later on. They have very powerful units they can bring to bear on you if you piss them off. And also a lot of advantages that they can give if you can kind of like master them. Yeah.
What do veterans of the series or our longtime fans have to look forward to that's might be a little something special for them?
Yeah. Well, I'd say definitely the science fiction setting is just like a whole new twist on the Civilization formula. There's a lot that's going to be familiar. But certainly we are hoping that Civilization fans will play Beyond Earth and enjoy it and see a lot of things that they like and they recognize. The science fiction setting allows us to do a lot of really cool stuff that historical civilization doesn't do as much, like inventing the lore of this planet and having a quest system where you can go and make decisions and see how not just like your people on the map inside a city, but how your people are reacting to this new planet and how they're dealing with the affinities on a very personal level. So I think the world's really going to come alive in a way that it hasn't in a civilization game before, and the story of the world and the science fiction setting, and I think mechanically the tech web is going to be it's going to be a really huge difference for the fans, and I think they're really going to enjoy it.
Can we look forward in the tech web, or is it more unknown?
It is known. Like we've looked at other games that have done like randomly generated tech webs and procedural tech webs, but ultimately Civilization is a game that we like to be played multiple times, and so it would kind of be futile if we said, okay, well the technology web is hidden, but the next time you play, like you already know, or you can just go online and look up a wiki, and then it's just annoying. You're like, okay, well, like I know that this technology exists, and I want to try it in my second playthrough, but I don't know where it is because it's hidden in the clouds or whatever. So our general approach has been to reveal, like the stuff like the victories and the very end technologies, the technology web, just to reveal them to the players so that they can plan ahead, because a lot of players like to plan ahead.
You got to think of that, what your end game right at the beginning. I agree with that. So when does this come out? When can we consume this?
It comes out fall of this year, so very soon.
Look for that super soon. I got to look at it already. I think it looks really good. It went beyond my expectations and beyond Earth. So check that out soon. Thanks so much for talking to us.
Absolutely.